Welcome again to another episode of Pastor Explain This. The question I have to answer today is the question about JEPHTHAH in Judges 11, where the question is simply this: did JEPHTHAH actually or really kill his daughter for God as sacrifice? If you are familiar with that portion of scripture in Judges 11, from verse 30 to the end of it, you find that a tribe of Israel, they were having some issues. A particular king was going to war against them. Anyway, long story short, they went to call JEPHTHAH, who was their brother who they had sent away. And JEPHTHAH, having agreed to fight the war for them, made a vow to God. Judges 11 and verse 30. It says, "And JEPHTHAH vowed a vow unto the Lord and said, If thou shalt without fail deliver the children of Ammon into my hands, then it shall be that whatsoever cometh forth of the doors of my house to meet me, when I return in peace from the children of Ammon, shall surely be the Lord's, and I will offer it up for a burnt offering." Now he went to war, he came back, and the Bible tells us, verse 34, he came to Mizpeh, unto his house, and behold, his daughter came out to meet him with timbrels and with dances, and she was his only child. Besides her, he had neither son nor daughter. And it came to pass when he saw her that he rent his clothes and said, "Alas, my daughter, thou hast brought me very low. Thou art one of them that trouble me. For I have opened my mouth unto the Lord, and I cannot go back." And she said unto him, "My father, if thou hast opened thy mouth unto the Lord, do to me according to that which had proceeded out of thy mouth. For as much as the Lord hath taken vengeance for thee of thy enemies, even of the children of Ammon." And she said unto her father, "Let this thing be done for me. Let me alone 2 months, that I may go up and down unto the mountains, and bewail my virginity, and I and my fellows." Verse 38, it says, "And he said, Go. And he sent her away for 2 months, and she went with her companies, and bewailed her virginity upon the mountains." Verse 39, "And it came to pass at the end of the 2 months, that she returned unto her father, who did with her according to his vow, which he had vowed, and she knew no man. And it was a custom in Israel, that the daughters of Israel went yearly to lament the daughter of JEPHTHAH the Gileadite 4 days in a year." Now, a hurried reading of this text will suggest to us, and I've come across this story as far back as when I was growing up, what we used to call Sunday school in the Anglican church then, and a hurried look at this portion of scripture will suggest to us that JEPHTHAH actually killed the daughter in fulfillment of his vow to God. But when you look at it closely, you find out that can't be that can be correct. I know I've come to that understanding that that's not true, of course. But recently, and which is why I'm recording this, recently I stumbled upon a video of a popular man of God, right, who alluded to the fact that he actually killed her and sacrificed to God. And I thought to, put this out there because that is dangerous. That conclusion is dangerous because it may give the room for people to think that God accepts human sacrifice, which is not true. It's not true. If you look at the verse 38 and verse 39 of Judges, that's in Judges 11, you find that the emphasis there was about our virginity. Not being able to get married, not being able to have to give birth to a child. And nothing was actually said about her being killed, if you look at it closely. And the reason we have to come to that conclusion is because it's against God's will, wish, and desire to accept human sacrifice. God doesn't accept human sacrifice. In fact, he abhors it. He hates it. And I can give you myriads of scriptures to back that up. Leviticus 18 verse 20. Same Leviticus chapter 20 verse 3. Deuteronomy chapter 12 verse 31. Deuteronomy 18 and verse 10. over and over again, God makes it clear He doesn't want human beings to be sacrificed. Alright. In fact, in Jeremiah 32 and verse 35, God tells His people, that He said, and they built the high places of Baal, which are in the valley of the son of Hinnom, to cause their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire unto Molech, which I commanded them not. Neither came it into my mind that they should do this abomination to cause Judah to sin. So God even considers that a sin. And that, in fact, the Bible says it has never crossed the mind of God to ask for human sacrifice. So what did the Bible mean when it says Jephthah actually fulfilled his vow? That's what I've explained to you in Judges, that verse 37, verse 38, verse 39. You look at it that she said to her father, let me go and mourn my virginity. In other words, forever I'm going to be celibate. Forever I will not have unlike my other ladies who can aspire to build a home. I will not have that privilege. That was what was going to be sacrificed, right? And, you can see from that text that what it probably means is that she lived away from her father, probably in the temple, right, and served there, just like Samuel was sacrificed to God, and he lived in the temple away from the parents forever. It was a gift. Of course, if you are going to sacrifice something, that means that thing is going to depart from you. So she apparently had to leave the father, right, and was in the temple and lived there a celibate life till her death. That was the sacrifice. In that way, that actually is a burnt sacrifice, because she won't have the privilege of having a child, having a family, and even her father, because the Bible tells us that is his only child. That would mean that that entire lineage has been cut short because of that sacrifice. So yes, indeed, Jephthah sacrificed his daughter according to his vow, but he did not kill her. Do you understand? He sacrificed her, but he did not kill her. I hope that sheds light on that question. Perhaps that's a question you have also thought of. The crux of this story for me is that we should be careful the vows we make before God. We should be careful, because he probably did not imagine that the daughter would be the one to come out of the first thing to come out of his house when he comes back from war. That's why he made that sacrifice, that vow. But upon making that vow, and it turned out that way, he eventually made sure that he fulfilled it, no matter how difficult it was for him. I hope that has blessed you. If you have any further questions on this or any other Bible subject or matters of life and you'd like me to address from the Bible, do well to write me at Feyi Adesanya@gmail.com or reach out to me through any of our social media handles. I'll be glad to address them. God bless you. See you next episode. Bye for now.